Okay.
Is it just us? Okay, so we're gonna do a project called Road Trip Mission. And so for this project, we're trying to find our own pathway to where we want to be, by how you got to where you want to be. So you are already teaching what you wanted to do.
I had an idea. I knew that I wanted to work in education and with children. I kind of went back and forth between being a psychologist, like a therapist, psychologist, or maybe being a counselor or a teacher. So I knew I wanted to work with children. I just wasn't sure in what setting.
So when were you like 100% sure that you wanted to be what you wanted to be?
When I was in my undergrad, I did research with the California Youth Authority, which were kids that were incarcerated. And the focus of the research was to improve mental health services for the students in there, or for the incarcerated youth. And so when I was in there, I noticed that when I was interviewing them, there was like set questions that we would do, and I'd meet with them every week. And at the end, they could ask any questions that they wanted. And I noticed that every time, all they asked about was college and about careers and graduating high school. And so I felt, although I was doing mental health research, a lot of the things that they were asking me at the end had to do with their education and what they wanted to do when they got out of there. So that was what really inspired me. So I really wanted to do a crossover between the two. So after I graduated from my undergrad, my master's degree is in marriage and family therapy and in school counseling. So I got both, which was what I wanted to do anyway.
So then, did your parents know that's what you wanted to do?
My dad wanted me to be a chemical engineer, which I had no desire to do at all. I think because he worked with chemical engineers and they made good money and there was a lot of job openings. But I really didn't want to do that. And I think my parents always knew that I wanted to work with children.
So were they supportive?
Yeah, they were. They were always supportive. My mom's worked in education forever, and a lot of my family members and friends have, so they were very supportive of it.
Were there any really important people that helped you get to where you were today?
One of my professors when I was at UCI, I went to her because I knew I wanted to get my master's degree, and I wasn't quite sure how to go about it. So I went with her, and we met one day in her office, and I asked her, what's the best thing to do? And she was like, do research. She was like, that's a great way to get into your master's degree. So that was why I started doing the research with the incarcerated youth. So she really had a great influence on that.
So was there anyone who stood by you and really pushed you?
My parents, definitely. They were always supportive of education and making sure, I took all the right classes to get into college. And when I was in college, okay, what comes after college? Because you have to get a job. That's the whole point of going. So they were very supportive, and I always knew that, if anything, I could go to them.
If you could give any advice to anyone like us, what would you give?
Do what makes you happy, because this is going to be your life for the next 40 years, let's say, 50 years even, in some cases. Some people work even longer than that. So really just do what makes you happy and what you're passionate about.
Thank you.
Those were different questions from the last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was involved.
Yeah.